I'm genuinely like cringing at the thought that I'm gonna say this and put it on the internet. Ugh. Would you be willing to get married sometime soon? Like, would you want to be engaged soon? High drama in a girls' school. Have you ever cheated or nearly cheated? Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. I feel like this is the first video where I'm like genuinely nervous to film. Obviously I've done a lot of Q&As before, I've filmed a lot of videos in general before, but this is the first one where it's like I'm spilling all the beans, you know, I'm spilling all the tea, like nothing's off limits. It's going to be a super personal Q&A. You guys have asked me some great questions over on Instagram, so if you did want to get involved in like a future Q&A video, that's where I tend to get most of my questions from. So yeah, we're just going to dive straight in. It's not going to be in any particular order. I'm keeping all the questions anonymous just because I wanted people to feel like they could ask me literally anything they wanted to, like I was putting everything on the table. So yeah, I'm just going to dive straight in. Okay, so I think the first thing I got a lot of questions about was like my relationship and my boyfriend and everything like that. So the first question was, will you be making videos with your boyfriend? And honestly, I don't think so. I mean, never say never obviously, but he's not really like in front of the camera kind of person. Like he's quite happy to stay off of the camera, which obviously I'm more than happy with too. Like it doesn't bother me whatsoever. I think it would be really fun to do like a relationship Q&A maybe with him, perhaps like on our anniversary or something, just as something like fun and silly to do. But in terms of like him being a regular or like being in every video, I don't think that would happen. But again, never say never, but for now it's just me, I'm afraid. The next question was a kind of three-part, I think, is when are you getting married and will you organise your whole wedding and then will you post it on YouTube? So when am I getting married? Good question. I get this question a lot because if you don't know, me and Christian have been together for very nearly 5 years now. I'm 22, he's 25, and I always said that I did not want to get engaged whilst I was at university, just because I feel like people change so much at university. You already have so much stress and pressure going on anyway. I didn't want to add to that with like an engagement and a wedding and everything that comes with that. But I have now graduated, so the question has arisen in the sense like, would you be willing to get married sometime soon? Like, would you want to be engaged soon? And I just still don't think I'm ready, and it's really hard to explain. And I've tried to like talk to my friends about it too, because they're obviously like pretty keen for us to get engaged and like have a wedding and everything. But for me, getting engaged means planning a wedding. Like I don't really want to have a long engagement because I feel like with that comes its own set of questions. So I feel like a lot changes when you get engaged. Like suddenly it's like, oh, we now have financial stress of saving for a wedding. We now have pressure from all our friends and family asking us like what theme we're doing and when our date is and where we're going to get married and all of that. And as fun as it would be to be each other's fiance and be engaged and be in that little like dream bubble, and I cannot wait to be in that bubble, I just don't think I'm ready for it yet. I think I need to like have a career for a little bit first, get on my own 2 feet. I feel like come a couple of years, maybe 2 years, maybe when I'm 25, I feel like I would be more prepared to get engaged. But then I thought I'd be ready to get engaged after graduation, and apparently I'm not. In terms of planning my wedding, yes, I will be planning my wedding myself. If you don't know, I have a degree in events management, so I'm really excited to plan my wedding. Let's face it, it's pretty much already planned to like the T. You know how people say like, oh, I plan my wedding, and they think like they kind of know what dress they want and they have a theme and like they know that they want to get married in a church or something, or they want a summer wedding. I have mine like planned in the sense like I have guest lists and seating plans and fonts that I want to use for our invitations, and like, yeah, I'm kind of that person. It's a bit, I know, like chaotic and scary, but it's just something I really enjoy doing. So yeah, I'll definitely be planning my own wedding. In terms of putting it on YouTube, I honestly don't know, because 2 years time, who knows if YouTube will even still be here. But also I think we're pretty keen on having like a low budget wedding, and obviously videographers are very expensive. But if we manage financially at the time, if we're able to afford a videographer and we have a video, I don't see why we wouldn't put it on YouTube. I think it would be a really cool thing, especially because I've vlogged so many of our experiences, just little moments of our relationship. Like our Rome vlog is one of my favourite vlogs of all time. So I would imagine that I would put that on YouTube as well, just for like the document the journey, I guess. I'd definitely be filming my wedding planning journey because I think that's so exciting, but I would have to obviously check that Christian was comfortable with that, and obviously it would have a lot of family members in it. It's something very personal, so I don't know if at that time I would want to keep that to myself, keep it private, keep it for myself, or whether I want to share that with the internet. So we'll just have to see at the time. Have you ever cheated or nearly cheated? I can honestly say I've never cheated, nor have I nearly ever cheated, and I think Christian can say the same. Obviously I did a long distance relationship for 2 years after going to uni, so we were apart quite a lot, but I don't know, I feel like a lot of the people around me have had experiences of being cheated on, and I've seen firsthand like the damage that can do, and like, yeah, I could just never imagine myself doing that to someone. I just really can't. I think it takes a very specific kind of person to be able to do that, and I think me and Christian have a very solid relationship in the sense like we trust each other 100%. Don't get me wrong, there have obviously been times like when I've been at the club with the girls like and we're dancing and a guy's like tried to dive for a kiss or like grabbed something he shouldn't have, and sometimes boys are weird, and even if you say like I have a boyfriend, that kind of to them is like a little bit of a challenge and almost makes it more exciting, which is always a bit strange, but my girls are very good at like cock blocking to the max, I guess, and I'm always like very straight up and I'm like, no, sorry, and I always tell Christian if that's happened, or like we joke about it, and like he's not a very jealous person, so when he does get jealous it's always like a little bit fun to like tease each other with it, and he does the same. But no, I've never cheated, nor do I plan on cheating, and I've made it like explicitly clear to Christian my feelings and emotions towards cheating on a partner, but we've made it this far, so no, haven't cheated, nor have I ever nearly cheated. Okay, last question about relationships is how do you keep your relationship fresh after being together for a long time? Now I read through these questions last night just to check what I was getting myself into, but in terms of like keeping our relationship fresh, it was really difficult for me to kind of pinpoint some things that we do, because I've always said that with Christian it feels very effortless, it feels very easy, which we're so fortunate to have, but I think I narrowed it down to like as long as you have like these 3 things, I think your relationship stays fresh. And it's just like if you miss each other, if you fancy each other, and if you're genuinely interested in how each other's day was. I think fancying each other is key, because that keeps it fresh and exciting and keeps you in that kind of giddy teenage stage, in the sense like you get butterflies from each other and you think each other are hot and all of that. That's really like fun and exciting. And then when you miss each other, like doing your own things, having your own time to then come back to each other and talk about, so you're both bringing new things to the table, you can both experience each other's world, you can like take each other to do your hobby and experience new things as a couple. I think that's the main thing, but also doing things apart helps with that as well, because you're your own person then, so again you can bring your own perspective to the table, I guess, and have something interesting to talk about and share, whilst also having time away from each other to miss each other. It's not like you're in each other's pockets all day long. Also, date nights are really useful. Obviously, take from this what you will, me and Christian don't have like a set time each week, same day that we have a date night, but sometimes if he's on a project or work and he's super busy, if I say like, oh, I haven't seen you much this week, do you fancy doing a date night on Friday? He's usually pretty keen, which is obviously really fun because he genuinely cares about hearing about my day and things, so that's really exciting that we get that quality personal time, and it means like one of us is putting in an effort, whether it's he's making dinner, whether it's I'm making dinner, whether it's we make dinner together and take it down to the park. We just have like some quality time, just us, where we've made an effort to show each other that we're there, we care, and we have time for each other, which is really lovely. And again, you can obviously switch out your date nights, go to places you've never been before, have new experiences, try different stuff, and that helps keep things fresh as well. So moving away from relationships, what's your least favourite thing about being a YouTuber? Now, I really struggled with this one, because I feel like when you watch like the larger YouTubers, I guess, talk about this, they're like, oh, all the hate comments or the pressure or whatever. But obviously being a YouTuber of my scale, I'm on a lot of a smaller scale, so it's not like I have masses of hate comments or masses of pressure because I have like, I don't know, all of these people expecting things from me. It's really just fun for me right now. It's a little bit of a side hobby that I have, and just something that I can put me into 100%, which I really love, so I don't have that many pressures and things. But I think the hardest thing about being a YouTuber was overcoming the what are people gonna think kind of mentality, in the sense like only recently have I told like my boyfriend's family or like my extended friendship group that I had a YouTube channel. Obviously like my mum and my dad knew, and like my sister knew, and my very close friends knew, my boyfriend knew obviously, but it's not like I spoke about it to everyone I met, because I was just genuinely afraid, I guess, of what people were going to think or what people would say, or whether they'd think it was weird. Like, I thought it still had a bit of a stigma attached to it, but I've kind of realised, like, I'm giving myself too much credit in the sense that I don't think that many people genuinely care that much. Do you know what I mean? Like, not everyone is talking about me. They have their own lives, own issues, own things going on. People probably don't care that I upload 18-minute videos and put them on the internet, you know? So that was kind of the hardest thing to overcome. But in terms of like a least favourite thing, I don't really have one right now because, like I said, it's just fun. Have you ever had any friendship breakups? Yes, and it's really hard to explain, and I'm gonna like keep it quite vague in the sense, like, it's basically between me and my best friend. So we obviously got back together, we made up, obviously, because she's my best friend to this day. Yeah, we had a little bit of a spat, I would say, in year 10. So I think we were like 15, maybe it was year 11, maybe we were 16. But it was basically really confusing. It was just a miscommunication, but it like blew up because obviously we're teenage girls, go to an all-girls school, like things are high drama in a girls' school. And basically what happened was I went to school expecting her, I think I was going to a revision lesson or something, and I expected her to be there because we used to go to the same one, and I was going to hang out with her afterwards. And she never showed up, and then she like stopped replying to my texts and stopped like replying to my phone calls, like completely ghosted me. And I was like heartbroken, genuinely heartbroken, and I was like sobbing, and I think it went on for like 2 or 3 days, like nothing major. I was like hysterical, and my mum was like, Amber, get over it, like she's not your boyfriend. Like my mum genuinely said that to me because I was just so upset because I had no idea what I had done wrong. I don't know why, I was just like naive or oblivious. We had a phone call about it, sorted it out, like it was fine. It lasted, obviously we both held a grudge for a little bit, but rekindled stronger than ever. But that was kind of like the biggest friendship breakup, I guess. But otherwise I've stayed friends with a lot of my school friends, and I feel like when people go to uni they kind of just fade out. It's not really like a breakup. So yeah, there was a little friendship spat, I would say, but no necessarily like breakups. I know I said in my Instagram story that I'd keep all of the questions anonymous, but my sister has sent a question in saying, do you have any cool siblings? Yes, I do. If you don't know, I have a sister, her name is Phoebe. I'm actually going to be doing a YouTube video with her very soon, which will be exciting, but I'll leave her Instagram down below if you want to go stalk her. But it's really funny, like forever she's been my little sister. She's like quite petite, quite small, and when we were at school and stuff, like in my mind she was just always like 11 or 12, do you know what I mean? She just like always stayed that age. To think now that she's 20 is very strange. Like my brain can't really comprehend that. But it's the same for my friends because we all left school, and obviously my sister was still in like year 10 I think when we left, no, year 9 when we left school. So in my friends' minds she just kind of froze at that age, like she was forever like 13 or whatever. But then seeing her on Instagram and things, my friends would come up to me and be like, your sister is so cool, and I'd be like, no, she's not, because obviously I saw her goofy side and her silly side at home and just like her annoying side and things like that. So to me she was like not a cool person, but to all my friends she was just like really edgy and really hip and posted really cool photos and things. So that was really funny. So I do have a sister, Phoebe, who will be on the channel very soon, but I also have a half sister on my dad's side who's 5 years older than me, and then I also have a stepsister and 2 step brothers on my stepdad's side. So a little bit complicated, a lot of siblings going on, but I do have one full cool sister. The last question is the most embarrassing moment at school. Now I saved this question till last because I'm genuinely like cringing at the thought that I'm gonna say this and put it on the internet. I really struggled to think of a most embarrassing moment because I've done very well over the last 6 years, whatever it's been, to block out those embarrassing moments. Like literally when I remember them I like pinch myself or cringe, and my brain kind of gets the message like, okay, she doesn't want to think about that, we'll just block that out. So I was thinking through secondary school, I was like, well, I showed up on Mufti Day like in school uniform, I wasn't in my own clothes, that was kind of embarrassing. But it wasn't like I don't think it's that bad, or like my mum told a guy that I thought he was hot, like that's kind of embarrassing. But again, nothing like, oh my god, horrific. And then I thought back to primary school. Ugh. And there is something that's super embarrassing, which I think I've only told maybe 8 people on the planet, and I feel like it's long enough ago that I can tell you about it, but I'm literally getting goosebumps. So basically in year 4, don't know how old you are in year 4, maybe 10, trying to reason it, we had a really scary teacher. She was very strict, and she had this rule: she would count down from 3, and you had to stop anything you were doing, breathing, talking, eating, writing. You had to like freeze in your spot. And I can't remember why, but we were outside. I don't know if it was PE or we were just out there for some reason, and we all stood in a group, like the whole class. I don't think it was the year, the whole class, so like 30 kids. And I had my hand up to go to the bathroom, and she went 3, 2, 1, stop. And I was thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna wet myself, like I need to pee so bad. But I was so scared to break her 3-second rule that I was like, maybe I can just let a little bit out. Oh my god, I thought I could do it like super discreetly. Didn't happen, obviously when you really need the loo, it kind of like gushes out. So I was just stood there peeing. I was in a short skirt or shorts or something, so you could like see it down my leg, and this guy that I used to fancy in primary school was like, are you peeing? And I said, no, I'm sweating. Are you kidding? Safe to say I ran to the bathroom, and the whole year found out about it, and I had about 100 kids mocking me for the rest of the day. Victoria Gamble, if you're out there watching this, she was a real one. She stayed with me the whole day. She was like the best friend ever. Took care of me, made sure everyone was like minding their own business, like told people off for calling me names and things. Yeah, so there's that. I mean, everyone pees themselves, but like peeing yourself through fear of getting told off is kind of dumb. So yeah, that's my little 2 cents on my most embarrassing story. Bet the person who was asked that didn't expect that to be the result, but there you go. So yeah, they are all my questions for this personal Q&A. It was really fun to film, and I know there's probably a lot of people out there who didn't ask because they felt a little bit nervous, but like no judgment whatsoever. So I probably will do a part 2 of this eventually, because I just think it's really fun, and I just feel like it's a bit of like a truth or dare moment. It's just like something new and fun, like a different way for you guys to get to know me on a much more personal level. But if you have liked this video, please hit thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe down below, because I'm posting 3 videos a week. So if you're bored, sat at home looking for some more content to watch, hit that subscribe button, and hopefully I'll see you very soon. Bye.